comedian is our headliner for tonight. He also has a really cool fucking beard. Give it up for Joey B.
Yo, what's up everybody, how's it going? Good. So Casey taught us a lot of cool things, but he didn't tell us to not eat popcorn before we perform. So if I have some scratchy throat issues, blame me. So I grew up poor. It was kind of poor where you had to make like appliance choices. Like you couldn't use like two things at the same time. Like I was never allowed to use the bathtub and the toaster at the same time. But I was always like the fat kid growing up. Oh, what's happening? So anyways, I was always kind of like just nerdy, really into books. You know, my dad was gay, and in retrospect, that actually is probably why he was never super proud of me when I got straight A's. But all those things in combination, just like I was right to be bullied, and I was bullied pretty severely until like recently, and then Grandma had her stroke, and the power dynamic really shifted. I'm in charge now. But so I was like really into hip hop when I was young, and my family was kind of racist, and they always used to say I was like acting black, and it was like really a mixed signal because they also wanted me to be like Jesus. So, but like really young age, got super into hip hop, really loved it, but really concerned my family. So my dad made me go to this thing called GRASP, and that actually stood for Gang Rescue and Support Project. So it was like me and 10 other kids in this little community center in Denver with like the scariest gangster I'd ever seen. And like judging by his monochromatic palette, I think he might have been affiliated with the Crips organization. So anyway, at like one point during his terrifying TED Talk, he asked us if any of us would like to join him for a Who ride. And up to this point, I was like acutely aware of the dangers of the funky Cole Medina. But I had like Will Smith had not prepared me for Who ride. So turns out a Who ride is a drive-by shooting. And not like a nighttime birding thing that I thought maybe it could be, but so anyways, now I've agreed to go on a drive-by shooting with a scary gangster. And please keep in mind, I'm 10, and I have the complexion and physique of like a baby snowman. That was prescribed transition lenses. So anyways, I will never ever forget like the genuine look of concern and like compassion on the scary gangster's face when he looked at me and realized that there was like no way I'd be able to aim my shotgun out of a moving car. But oh man, caught it. So anyways, my dad was probably right about the rap music because like 10 years later I ended up selling drugs to a cop. Yeah, that's the real thing. I ended up becoming a convicted felon. And people are always like, man, isn't like being a felon tough? But it does have its bright spots. Like, I never have to go to jury duty. It's really easy to get out of destination weddings. I'll never have to work in a field where I'm legally responsible for other people's children. And if I want to buy a gun, I just have to go to the parking lot of a gun show. But no, seriously though, like after I got my felony, like my life, like I was in my 20s, my life just completely spiraled out of control. I put on a ton of weight. I was in and out of court. I was just super toxic with women. And I realized that if I didn't get my life together and try to do something better, that there was like a solid chance I'd end up serving like 4 to 8 years in the White House. But that didn't happen. I ended up changing careers completely. Instead of being a drug dealer, I became a bartender. It's different because drugs are solid and alcohol's liquid. But I actually really enjoy bartending because it's one of the few customer service jobs where you get to slowly poison the customers. They think it's their idea, and I make good money. I'm basically ExxonMobil. All right. Anybody in here date and/or live with a man? Anybody? Yeah. Are you insane? Do you know how dangerous men are? Have you not seen a podcast or seen a Dateline or heard a podcast? Like, men are like the #1 killers of everything, unless you believe life begins at conception. But, all right. Christmas is here. You guys happy? Yeah, Christmas? You guys been doing Christmas shopping? Little yeah. So I was out actually Christmas shopping with my wife the other day, and she got super pissed off at me. And I wouldn't open the trunk, but like the last time she tried to make a run for it. But we're actually in a non-traditional marriage because we still enjoy each other's company. And you know what? My wife is great, but she can talk to children really easily. I can't. And she just doesn't understand that I can't just walk up to like a random child at a baseball game and start saying things like, "How old are you? That's a pretty dress. Is your dad single?" But we do have one son. He's Gen Z. He lives on his own. He's moved out of the house, and it's super fun to mess with him because like the Gen Z, they're just so anxious. So I'll just be like hanging out at my house in the middle of the day. I'll just start texting him things like, "We need to talk. ... Please call me. ... Elon Musk is the president, and there's unmanned drones flying over key nuclear installations. ... But another funny thing about Gen Z is like all of their trends are just doing completely mundane, normal things without using their cell phones. And they call it raw dogging. Back in my day, raw dogging is how you became pro-choice. But another universal fact about raw dogging is that everybody's mom has done it. At least once. But so I'm getting older now. Started to have some like medical stuff go on, and I actually found out I have a problem with my prostate, but I didn't find out from a doctor. What happened to me is I forgot to turn my mic off when I was gaming with some friends, and when I went to use the bathroom, they heard my stream and asked me if I lived in a wet cave. So I thought maybe it was time to get that checked out. It's like getting older too, you try to stay up with the health trends. You got sort of like the cold plunge. That thing, you know, you like, jump in the ice water or whatever. Yeah, it's not, I do that with my nuts every time I sit on the toilet. But no, I think one of the reasons that I ended up getting into comedy was a conversation that I had with my father towards the end of his life. And he really pushed me to perform. And as I've been like traveling around and talking to other comics, it's actually a pretty common thing that comedians start doing comedy after their fathers pass away. And I started thinking, I was like, what if it's just like one last dad joke? And then I started thinking about the conversation that, it's just like, "Son, we need to talk." "Yes, Father, what is it?" "I need you to do something for me." "Yes, Father, anything." "I need you to perform stand-up comedy." "Father, I'm not that funny." "Yeah, I know, but it's important." Okay, well, will I become wealthy? No. How about women? Will it make me work? No, probably not. Well, will it do wonders for my peace of mind and stability? Listen, I have a bet going with all the other dads in hospice, and if you don't do this after I die, I have to wear a ghost dress until the Rockies win the World Series. And that's why I always do my full set, even if it's an empty room, because you never know whose ghost parent might be in attendance. Thank you, guys.